Good afternoon, I'm Denise Tan, and this is One News Now. The Foreign Affairs Department has confirmed that at least 2 Filipinos were killed in the raging war between Israel and Hamas. In a social media post, DFA Secretary Enrique Manalo said the Philippines condemns the killings of its citizens. He also denounced the violent attacks launched against Israel, which he described as acts of terrorism. Manalo added that the Philippines is ready to work with other countries towards a long-lasting resolution to the conflict. He reiterated that full assistance will be extended to distressed Filipino nationals in both Israel and Palestine. For his part, President Bongbong Marcos is saddened over the 2 fatalities, saying the Philippines stands firmly against the ongoing armed conflict. He also vowed support to the affected Filipinos in Israel and Gaza. Meantime, the Israel Embassy expressed its deep sympathy to the families of the Filipino victims. The embassy had earlier reported that 6 Filipinos remain missing and that they are exhausting all available means to find them. While Israel claimed it has retaken the Gaza Strip, violence continues in the part of Middle East. Several hours ago, rockets exploded in the night sky over Gaza City and Ashkelon as Israeli and Hamas forces refused to stand down. The fire-power exchange has so far killed over 1,500 people and have injured and displaced thousands. Meantime, U.S. President Joe Biden called the Hamas attack on Israel an act of sheer evil. Biden stressed U.S. support for Israel as it mourns the Saturday killings, which included at least 14 Americans. Biden has directed hostage recovery efforts for U.S. citizens being held hostage by the militant group. The American president also promised Israel interceptors for its Iron Dome missile defense system, ammunition, and more U.S. troops.
People of Israel lived through one such moment this weekend. The bloody hands of the terrorist organization Hamas, a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews. This was an act of sheer evil. More than 1,000 civilians slaughtered, not just killed, slaughtered in Israel. Among them, at least 14 American citizens killed. We stand with Israel. And we will make sure Israel has what it needs to take care of its citizens, defend itself, and respond to this attack. There's no justification for terrorism. There's no excuse.
Moving on to another story, some senators weigh in on the issue of confidential and intelligence funds. That's after a House committee reallocated CIFs in the 2024 national budget. Senator Joel Villanueva said the Senate will consider the decision of the lower house, but they also have their own priorities. Villanueva promised, though, that they will be sure to scrutinize the national budget. For Senator Coco Pimentel, the office of the vice president, or the president rather, should have no confidential and intel funds since it's a civilian agency. Earlier today, the Senate has approved the OP's budget secret funds despite Pimentel's opposition. Recall that among the confidential funds removed by the House are that of Office of the Vice Presidents and the Department of Education. The combined extra fund for these agencies was at 650 million pesos. Other agencies were also stripped of confidential funds worth 1.2 billion pesos. These are the Departments of Agriculture, Foreign Affairs, and Information and Communications Technology. The reallocated budget will go to the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, the National Security Council, the Philippine Coast Guard, and the Department of Transportation for the airport expansion on Pag-asa Island Airport. Instead of confidential funds, the BFAR, DICT, DFA, the Ombudsman, and DepEd will receive funding for maintenance and other operating expenses. These funds are all auditable. One ally of Vice President Sara Duterte believes that politics was at play in the reallocation of confidential funds. Here's former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque.
Bakit ang Vice President 500 million lamang, pero ang presidente sa confidential fund alone ay 2.3 billion. Di ba pareho naman silang executive branch of government? Bakit ang Speaker of the House tinanggal ang sa Vice President, hindi tinanggal yung sa President? Dahil magpinsan o dahil banta sa 2028 ang Vice President. Speaker, magpakatotoo po tayo. Politika po ang dahilan kung bakit tinanggalan niyo ng confidential fund si VP Sara.
Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. Considering price controls for pork. The DA said it could impose a price cap on the meat if the price difference widens between retail and farm gate levels. That or if any market manipulation is found. The DA is also considering to import pork products in the last quarter should there be a decline in domestic supply. A deficit equivalent to 10 days of demand is expected at the height of the holiday season. However, importers said such move would not do much. They said if the government only places its order now, the imports will not arrive in time for the holidays. For the Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura or SINAG, importation is not the solution. Instead, it urges the government to close the gap between retail and farm gate prices.
Sabihin, mababa ang farm gate, hindi namimili ang mga biyahero, hindi namimili traders because may malaking volume na nasa market. Kasi kung may shortage siya, kung may kakulangan, we would expect na mataas ang farm gate price. Mali na naman yung sinisilip ng DA, yung gap between farm gate and retail. Yun talaga yung dapat nire-resolve.
We now give you a quick look at today's other top stories. The Transportation Department is asking suspended LTFRB Chief Teofilo Guadiz III to explain corruption allegations against him. The DOTr is also seeking assistance from the National Bureau of Investigation and probing the matter. Guadiz supposedly accepted bribes for the speedy approval of special permits, franchises, and modifications of routes. A low-pressure area has entered Philippine territory. The LPA was last spotted some 750 kilometers east of Guiuan, eastern Samar. but it is not expected to develop into a tropical cyclone. The LPA's trough will bring rains over Metro Manila, Visayas, Mindanao, Bicol, Mimaropa, and Calabarzon. The rest of Luzon may also expect rains due to localized thunderstorms. Malacanang declares October 30 a special non-working day for the local polls. President Bongbong Marcos said this would allow Filipinos to cast their votes for the barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. The declaration came from Proclamation number 359 signed by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin on October 9. On a lighter note, several outstanding females were honored in People's Asia's Women of Style and Substance 2023. Among the awardees are Signal TV and MediaQuest President and CEO Jane Jimenez Basas, Creamline Cool Smashers star Eliza Valdez, megastar Sharon Cuneta, actress Dolly De Leon, U.S. Ambassador Mary Kay Carlson, Miss Universe Philippines 2023 Michelle Marquez D, and Dr. Casey Reyes, a dermatologist and preventive medicine advocate. A total of 15 women of style and substance were celebrated for continuing to lead, blaze, and trail break barriers in their respective fields. One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. Join us again later. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News.